uh, if you feel like that you've learned everything and you stop yourself, then there is no looking back. You stay there only. Then you are not in a position to actually ask for a higher rise in your salaries too. There is so much to do. I mean, people are looking out desperately for company secretaries.
So I remember my father is used to have farmer that time. तो मैं सीएस एग्जीक्यूटिव का एग्जाम दे के आया. ये जो कभी नहीं भूलता. तो एग्जाम दे के आया. उस टाइम पे ना 6 पेपर होते थे, 2 ग्रुप होते थे 3-3 के. और मैं पेपर दे के आ गया. तो उन्होंने पूछा पेपर कैसा हुआ. नेचुरली यही सवाल करेंगे वो. तो मैंने कहा पहले ग्रुप में एक पेपर अच्छा नहीं हुआ और सेकंड ग्रुप में भी एक पेपर अच्छा नहीं हुआ. कह रहे इसका मतलब क्या हुआ. मैंने कहा एक में फेल हो जाओगे ना, सब में फेल हो जाओगे, क्योंकि एग्रीगेट का ना आपको चाहिए ना 40-50 वाला गेम. तो उन्होंने कुछ सेकंड का पोज लिया और कहा कि यार कह रहा हम खेत से ना 1 साल में 4 फसलें ले लेते, तुम्हारे से 6 पेपर नहीं पास हो रहे. तो दैट काइंड ऑफ लाइक
क्या बात है.
आई वाज स्पीचलेस.
सो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, तो वेलकम बैक टू अनदर इंसाइटफुल सेशन ऑफ फोकस लेक्सिकन. तो ये दोस्तों हमारा एक छोटा सा एक फैमिली सेटअप है. यहाँ पे हम एक दूसरे के विचार विमर्श जो है वो शेयर करते हैं और लाइक इट इज अ वेरी ओपन एनवायरनमेंट जहाँ पे आपके जो भावों को है वो एक अच्छा एक वाद विवाद करने का हमको एक मौका मिलता है. तो दोस्तों अगर बातों से बने बात तो बात ही क्या है, लेकिन बातों से तो कुछ भी बात नहीं बनती. और कभी कभी ऐसा होता है ना, जैसे अब आई एम इनटू टीचिंग, तो क्या होता है कि कभी कभी ना कोई कंसेप्ट ऐसा होता है कि जिसको समझाने के लिए शब्द भी कम पड़ जाते हैं. समझाते जाओ तब भी वो नहीं समझ में आता. लेकिन फिर लाइफ एक्सीडेंट्स होते हैं कि ऐसा एक नुक्ता समझ में आता है, एक ऐसा फॉर्मूला समझ में आता है कि फिर वो कंसेप्ट लगता है कि यार ये तो कितनी छोटी सी बात थी, ये तो कुछ नहीं, मैं तो ऐवी टेंशन ले रहा थी. तो दोस्तों आज जो हमारा सेशन होने वाला है, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी वेरी स्पेशल. और आज हमारे साथ एक ऐसे इंस्पिरेशनल पर्सनैलिटी और ऐसे मेंटोर आज हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं जिनका 17 ईयर्स प्लस का एक एक्सपीरियंस जो है कंपनी सेक्रेटरी प्रोफेशन में. और सर किसी भी इंट्रोडक्शन के मोहताज नहीं है. ये हमारा फॉर्चून है कि सर हमारे साथ आज सर ने अपना कीमती समय हमारे साथ निकाला है. एंड प्रेजेंटली ही सर्विंग एज डायरेक्टर एंड कंपनी सेक्रेटरी एंड कंप्लायंस ऑफिसर ऑफ एस वेक्टर लिमिटेड, दैट वाज फॉर्मरली नोन एज स्नैपडील. And sir is a fellow member of ICSI, LLM gold medalist, and an accomplished corporate governance and professional, and a highly respected speaker and mentor. And को हाल ही में डॉक्टर APJ अब्दुल कलाम ग्लोबल आइकन अवार्ड्स 2025 से भी सम्मानित किया गया है फॉर एक्सीलेंस इन मेंटरिंग एंड कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस. And friends, please join me in extending a warm welcome to our esteemed guest, CS Anil Kumar sir. And sir, stage is all yours. तो हम बड़े ही सर सौभाग्यशाली हैं कि आज आप हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं. जी सर.
थैंक यू सो मच वंश. एवरी टाइम जब मैं आपके साथ बात करने की कोशिश करता हूँ, मैंने आपसे पहले भी ये चीज बोली थी कि इट्स ऑलवेज म्यूचुअल. आई मीन कुछ ना कुछ हम एक दूसरे से हमेशा समझते रहते हैं, लर्न करते रहते हैं, एंड इट इज अ वेरी पेरेनियल प्रोसेस. ये जो लर्निंग है ना, लर्निंग कभी भी स्टॉप नहीं होनी चाहिए. इट कैन गो ऑन एंड ऑन एंड ऑन. Even I can learn from a student. Even I can learn from a very influential person. Even a person who begs on the road is also a person who teaches you something or the other. And thank you for calling me. I always look forward for such sessions जहाँ पे ये मौका मिल सके कि मैं बच्चों के साथ बात कर सकूँ, and especially CA students के साथ, because it is very near to my heart. I always am of a firm believer कि मतलब हम जैसे CA students के लिए मेंटोरशिप की इतनी ज्यादा जरूरत है आज की डेट में कि वो ये चीज रियलाइज कर सके कि the things are not very simple as they appear to be as and when you become a company secretary. Recently मैं एक CLDP session ले रहा था and I happened to meet so many children around there. तो मेरा ना 3 घंटे का सेशन था. 3 घंटे के सेशन के बाद में ना I felt like कि I was regularly asking children to ask me questions and I was telling them and I was giving them the comfort कि यार जो भी questions पूछने हैं ना आप पूछ सकते हो, without me being judgmental on any of the questions that they would want to ask me. However, having said that, मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा था that children are like getting a bit insecure. They are not trusting the person who is in front of them, who is delivering them a lecture, and they were hesitant to actually respond to or maybe ask you questions of various fronts which are there under their territory and under their periphery. जब जैसे ही first, I mean, there is a gap of like, 1.5 hours के बाद एक tea break होती है, उसके बाद में then you again restart the session. जब वो 1.5 घंटा खत्म हो गया ना, then it so appeared to me that children were approaching me. They were asking me कि सर मेरे को ना ऐसा लगता है, मैं मतलब I am seeing that there is so much of a potential I have in me, but then I feel like कि seniors के साथ सामने जाने से मेरे को थोड़ा सा महसूस ये होता है कि I will be judged and insecure. There were children who were like, सर आजकल तो AI आ गया है, मेरा CS में क्या ही फ्यूचर है. There were children who were of the view कि यार सर, I have done form filing, I've done returns, I've done minutes, I've done many sorts of things, but फिर भी मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि there is something which I can actually give away to my organization. तो वो कौन कौन से ऐसे एरियाज हो सकते हैं जहाँ पे मैं कुछ कर सकता हूँ या कर सकती हूँ. So I was confronting such sorts of questions from children around. Having said that, जब over the second session which I resumed after the tea break, I felt like that children had so many questions to ask, and they were now in that process of trusting, and then they started asking questions. So this is what I am actually anticipating from children around. ना हमारा जो company secretaryship course है ना, वो it is a purely and purely correspondence course, without offending anybody, without commenting on the policy makers of our headquarters. I would like to state that ये जो CLDP sessions होते हैं, या ये जो ADP sessions होते हैं, या ये जो training orientation programs होते हैं, EDPs होते हैं, and very many names which are relevant in the entire CS fraternity. I'm of a firm believer कि यार बच्चों का जो industry के साथ में connect है, it is very very less. We need to build that connect, and you're doing a marvelous job in that. I'm anticipating children to actually speak their woes out to us, woes out to their seniors, reach out to their seniors as to see as to wherein what wrong have they done in their careers, or maybe what learnings can you get from the people or the other people would want to pass on to you. तो हुआ क्या, I will just make it very conversative and a very two-way communication sort of stuff here. I would like to tell you. मतलब जब मैंने अपनी 12th clear करी ना, उसके बाद में I was absolutely clear that I wanted to do a company secretaryship course. My dad was posted to Nagpur, and Nagpur is a hub for CA, CS, ICWA. And I started doing my BCom also and my CS classes also in an academy. So there is an academy which is by the name of Central Academy of Professional Studies in the main city of Nagpur. So I started getting coaching there. तो वहाँ पे ना dedicated classes नहीं होती थी company secretaryship के लिए. तो we were asked, I mean, there were like 7-8 dedicated company secretaryship children जो CA students के साथ में बैठ के वहाँ पे classes attend करते थे. तो I was them. So that shit was in the year. So we shifted in the year 2004, and I was there till 2008. So then I joined there, और फिर उसके बाद में I saw कि जो horizon है ना, जो thought process है ना, in the entire fraternity of corporate world is absolutely marvelous, and there is so much to do. So while I was doing this course there were many children who were doing BCom. तो हमारे टाइम पे क्या था, endlessly आप 10 courses भी अगर side by side चलाना चाहते तो आप कर सकते. There was no need for taking NOC from the colleges or from the CS Institute as well. आज की डेट में I think there is a change. However, I was only the one who was doing BCom and company secretaryship, but I was absolutely clear that I wanted to do CS. But there were children who were doing CS also, CA also, ICWA also, BCom भी कर रहे थे, BCA भी कर रहे थे, बहुत कुछ कर रहे थे. तो मेरे को कभी-कभी ऐसे फील होता था कि मैं कहीं neglected ना हो जाऊं. But that was the time when I realized that there is so much to do. But it was purely and purely a theoretical purpose, and it was purely and purely a theoretical journey, wherein we used to attend the classes, paper देते थे, paper clear करते थे. Then I got into training. We were supposed to do a training of 18 months with a practicing company secretary. जब मैं practicing company secretary के पास आया, मैंने देखा यार ये चीज तो मैंने कभी करी नहीं. The first thing which I was asked to do was, at that time, NCA was undergoing a change from physical to an electronic version. तो DIN numbers बनाने आए थे. तो मैंने ना DIN number बनाना शुरू करा. I started doing things slowly and slowly, gradually. Then my trainer asked me to connect with the clients directly. फिर हम लोग उनसे बात करते होते थे कि sir, we would be charging this much amount of money from you. for this incorporation purpose or this incorporation process. However, I felt like कि यार ये ठीक है, I'm working with a practicing company secretary, but where is that influx or where is that practical experience of working in a corporate world that's missing? So once I went through with my membership and my training, I got into a company called Parabolic Drugs Limited. जब वहां पे आया तो वहां पे completely different paradigm देखने को मिला. There were so many departments to work with. You get a chance to see a board of directors, how the board of directors work. You get a chance to connect with the finance team, the HR team, and you as a company secretary are being perceived as a person who would know endless things, who would know absolutely everything about every single law that is there in the country. However, working over a period of 1.5 years, and that was my first company wherein I did my IPO independently, and it was a very fresh experience for me. You get a chance to work with merchant bankers, legal counsels, RT, and everybody around. But धीरे धीरे I started realizing कि यार ये तो चलो ठीक है, ये तो किस्मत से मिल गया कि आपने practice company secretary के पास काम करने के बाद में instantly you got into corporate world, and instantly I got this historical thing of working for an IPO. Where my name got flashed in the stock exchanges, the SEBI and the DRHP document and the RHP document. But ऐसा हर किसी के साथ तो नहीं होगा. Then I thought this thing that I should get in touch with children around. I should ask them their questions, what they have in their minds. And I should actually counsel them and mentor them and tell them कि आपसे expected क्या है. तो आज हम उसी चीज के बारे में बात करना चाहते हैं. तो मेरे लिए ना सबसे ज्यादा जो दिल से जुड़ी हुई चीज है ना वो ये है कि हमारे comparisons बहुत होते हैं. As a company secretary, we are compared with everybody. Once you would agree to that, right? Anurag,
Absolutely. जी जी जी.
हमें ये कहा जाता है कि अच्छा तो एक सीए और सीएस है और एक सीएमए है और एक एमबीए है, आपको कितनी सैलरी मिलेगी जब आप एक बार मेंबरशिप नंबर ले लोगे? तो जवाब तो कुछ नहीं होता, क्योंकि it completely depends on the capabilities that you have in an organization and the way with which you actually present your mettle in the organization. तो बड़ी सारी चीजें इन्वॉल्व है. इसका सीधा और सटीक आंसर देने से पहले मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि आपके अंदर क्या खासियत होनी चाहिए जब आप एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर जाते हो या जब आप एक कंपनी सेक्रेटरी बन जाते हो. आपसे एक्सपेक्टेड क्या होता है? सबसे पहली चीज जो मुझे आज की डेट में ऐसे रियलाइज होता है कि इट्स मिसिंग इन ऑलमोस्ट एवरी वन ऑफ अस, हमारे जो कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स है ना, दे हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी अप टू द मार्क. इसके कारण मैं आपको बताता हूँ, कुछ अपने प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंसेस भी शेयर करता हूँ. पता है क्या होता है कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स का मतलब क्या होता है? हम ये बोलते हैं कि अंग्रेजी आनी चाहिए. फटर फटर जो अंग्रेजी में बात करता है ना, ही इज अ पर्सन हु वुड नो एवरीथिंग. तो जैसे हम 10 लोग हैं किसी एक पर्टिकुलर रूम में बैठे हुए, उनमें से 2 लोग ऐसे हैं जो पंजाबी विच गल करते हैं, 2 लोग ऐसे हैं जो हिमाचली में बात कर रहे हैं, 2 लोग ऐसे हैं जो हिंदी में बात कर रहे हैं, 2 लोग ऐसे हैं जो इंग्लिश में बात कर रहे हैं, एंड देयर वुड बी अदर पीपल आल्सो हु वुड बी स्पीकिंग इन बिहारी और व्हाटएवर इट इज. You know who excels? As per your thought, it would be English. People who are speaking in English. Why is it so? Because we've made that thought कि अंग्रेजी में जो बात कर रहे हैं ना, उसको ऑलमोस्ट सब कुछ ही आता है. ऑलमोस्ट नहीं, उसको 100% सब कुछ आता है. भले ही वो सब कुछ गलत गलत बोल रहा होगा, लेकिन उसको सब कुछ आता है. To my view, 75% of the ratio amongst that 100% of the ratio, I would state, yes, that is right. Why? Because आप जिस corporate world में काम करना चाह रहे हो ना, you are going to work with the merchant bankers, you're going to work with the legal counsels, you're going to work with people who are from different nationalities. आपके जो promoters हैं, if at all you're going to work with professional promoters or managing directors who are very professional in nature, you would find them speaking in English only. However, जब clarity of thought आता है आपकी communication में, तो उसमें language का कोई barrier नहीं है. तो अगर मुझे सेक्शन 135 के बारे में बहुत अच्छे से पता है, और अगर मुझे ये पता है कि मैं 135 के बारे में एक बहुत अच्छे तरीके से इंग्लिश में बात नहीं कर पाऊंगा, लेकिन मैं उसे हिंदी में समझा पाऊंगा, तो ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज अ रोड ब्लॉक कि मैं उसे इंग्लिश में बात करने से थोड़ा सा कतरा रहा हूँ, लेकिन मैं हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन करके आई कैन इंश्योर दैट माय प्रोसीजर एंड माय वर्क अराउंड टू दिस विल फ्लरिश. बट हैविंग सेड दैट, with a slow progression and with perenniality that comes into your way, you have to be sure of the fact कि आपकी communication skills पे आपको काम करना है आज से ही. बड़ा जरूरी है ये चीज. आप कैसे बात करते हैं, आप चीजों को कैसे प्रेजेंट करते हैं. Though being polite, you can also pretend to be impolite in front of the people by using such words, by using such ways in which the other person doesn't get offended, but you are in a position to convey to the other person that things are in line with everything. So my point of view is, you have to continuously work on your communication skills from the day one when you start realizing the fact that you have to work in an organizational setup. मुझे परसीव इसी चीज के लिए किया जाता है कि मेरी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स बहुत इफेक्टिव, बहुत क्लियर और बहुत सीमलेस है in an organization. You tend to meet n number of people in an organization the way in which they actually propagate their ideas in the organization is absolutely marvelous. You tend to work with people from different nationalities जिनका एक different setup है with respect to communication as well. You would not find a Japanese person entertaining you very well if at all you speak in a very, very slanged language that is English. You have to be very, very crisp and very, very clear when you start communicating with the people in front, and when you start communicating in front about what you expect and what you want to desire from the needful of the action that you perceive for. So communication, it is very dear to me and it is very clear and very anticipative कि आपको उस पे आज से ही काम करना चाहिए. तो बच्चे पूछते हैं कि सर फिर हमें क्या करना चाहिए, इस पे किस तरीके से करना चाहिए. तो देखिए आज ना एक बड़ा कॉन्सेप्ट मार्केट में प्रेवलेंट है, Gen Z concept. Without offending any of the Gen Zs here, I would like to tell you that a slanged language is okay to be spoken of with people in your closed groups. मतलब आप अपने friends के साथ में slangs के साथ बात करें, that's absolutely okay. But when you speak with your seniors, when you speak with the promoters, when you speak with your trainer, when you speak with people in a formal background, you have to be very sure that you're using crisp language, you're using a language which is not slanged at all, and you have a proper way of communicating in a very seamless manner for the purposes which are noted and denoted at times. That's the other aspect. The other aspect could be you find a circle amongst yourself where you can communicate with people around more seamlessly, more openly, and you can talk about any particular topic in the language which is very near and dear to you. That's the other aspect. और communication पे तो day one से मैंने आपको बोला ही है, day one पे आपको काम करना है, day one से आपको काम करना है. So I had my first training in my second organization. I was working with Ethos Limited for a period of 14 years, and my first trainee, she happened to be a very good girl. I mean, she's very communicative, very good with drafting. She's a lawyer herself, and she told me that she wanted to leave the organization and she wanted to work with some organization elsewhere. So I was like, oh, I was okay with it. I mean, I shouldn't be stopping her from, finding new ways of working in an organization, in a different organization rather. So she left the organization and she told me about her first instance, which she gathered when she was HR team in some other company. And she was telling me, "Sir, मेरे से तो ये पूछा, मेरे से वो पूछा, ऐसा पूछा, वैसा पूछा." And I was absolutely sure that she would be selected, but she wasn't selected. And out of my dismal, I asked her what could be the reasons for all of this. And she told me, when I asked the HR told me that you have a very what I could say is you have a very informal way of communicating with the HR department. And I was absolutely shocked about it. I mean, she told me, "Sir, I was using a bit of slangs, but when I felt that I could be candid with the HR girl there taking my interview, I was being candid, and I thought of using some sort of slangs, and I thought I will be making it out, and I was answering all my questions. But then I had to ask her, किस तरीके के slangs use करे?" So she was like, when I was answering questions at the end, I was using right with an exclamation mark or right with a question mark, which didn't prove out too much healthy for her. And the HR said that we are not looking out for somebody who is actually into informal communication. We are looking out for somebody who will be actually adhering and entering the board of directors of the company in the boardroom. So obviously, that is not needed in a very formal structure when I talk of an organization here. So I told her, just work on yourself and you'll cut through that competition. She could make it in the second instance, or rather. तो मेरे कहने का मतलब ये है कि हमें अपनी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स पे डे 1 से काम करना चाहिए, एंड वी शुड बी वेरी वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट ऑफ द फैक्ट दैट मैं अपने दोस्तों के साथ जैसे बात करता हूँ वैसे ही मैं अपने प्रोमोटर्स के साथ भी बात करूंगा, अपने बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स के साथ भी बात करूंगा, एंड इन अ फॉर्मल सेटअप आल्सो आई विल बी वर्किंग लाइक दैट. That's not the scenario. So communication के लिए start working on yourself from the day 1. Prepare a close group for yourself. Be very very apprehensive and very clear of the aspect that what you want to convey and how you want to convey, and just be aware of the fact that there is no requirement for being a very slanged kind of a person or very oversmart kind of a person when you communicate with people around. That's the other aspect. It's needed throughout. When you get into an organization, people will communicate with you in the language in which you would want to perceive them to reach out to you. The other aspect. Now, this second aspect I wanted to actually pose your thought on is on the drafting skills. From the day 1, I have been witnessing that we are very good at our vocal skills when we speak with people around. I mean, I may be very good at communicating with the board of directors. I may be very fluent in my communication skills when I speak with my board of directors, or maybe my managing director, or maybe my CFO or general counsel, whatever it is, or maybe with outsiders as well. But every setup has to have a different set of drafting. Every setup would need to have a different kind of communication pattern, which you need to follow rigorously and very critically with the day 1 when it comes into play. So उस पे भी day 1 से ही काम करना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. You start progressing on it. You start experiencing.
Please mute करना पंकज भाई, please mute it. हाँ जी सर.
So you will see a change when you start drafting resolutions by yourself. You start seeing a change in yourself when you start drafting letters by yourself. AI is a new thing. I completely understand that. ChatGPT, Claude, and everything is a new thing. I was confronted with this particular question in my recent CLDP session, and I could tell them that, look, Claude is the new normal, but you have to be very particular of the fact कि Claude की ज़रूरत कब पड़ेगी. जब पढ़नी तब चाहिए जब मैं क्रिटिकली उस चीज को लेके बड़ा एप्रीहेंसिव हो गया कि चलो यार अब तो कोई और तरीका नहीं है, मुझे क्लॉड ही यूज करना पड़ेगा या चैट जीपीटी ही यूज करना पड़ेगा. दैट्स द न्यू नॉर्मल. But then when it comes to our own professional excellence or maybe our pursuit towards professional excellence, it has to be a very determined working on it from the day 1 when we start realizing that it is much needed in an organization. What will you do when you do not have a cloud in place? You will have to draft the things by yourself. Actually, just recently we were doing a digitization in our organization for board meetings. So वो जो डिजिटाइजेशन प्रोसेस है उसमें वो पोर्टल देते हैं पूरा, जहाँ पे वो ये बोलते हैं कि आपके एजेंडा पेपर्स ना सीमलेसली ऑटोमेटिकली तैयार होके आपके पास आ जाएंगे, फिर आपको उसको सिर्फ रिव्यू करना है, फिर उसके बाद में यू जस्ट हैव टू पुश अ बटन एंड देन इट गोज टू ऑल द डायरेक्टर्स. However, having said that, when we took a demo of that particular portal for using in our organization, we realized that agenda papers तो वैसे बिल्कुल एक कहते हो ना आप उसको, it was not even a first draft. It was half a draft of what was written in that particular agenda paper. We had to work constantly on it. So ChatGPT, Claude, and AI will give you a roadmap as to how things have to be done. But the actual drafting, actual presentation of the skills that you have in your minds, in your brains and the souls, which you have gathered over a period of years of your training or over academic study in the CS profession, is something which will give a way to you to excel your careers in life. So that's the other aspect. So drafting also will have to seamlessly be worked upon by yourself. Try learning it from your mentors. Try learning it from ChatGPT for that matter. I'm just stating it because you have to learn it from there. You don't have to, actually go to ChatGPT, give them commands, You don't have to go to Claude, give them commands, and they will prepare the entire letter or maybe agenda papers or maybe the resolutions for you to actually go through, and then you can start using it in your day-to-day cycle. So that's the other aspect. The third aspect I want to actually touch upon is on the presentation skills. So without being offensive to anybody around here, I would like to just state that ये जो comparisons हमारे पास आ जाते हैं ना, ये comparisons बहुत ज़्यादा tough होते हैं. Over a period of years, I've realized that there are a number of people in the organization. Why am I different from the COO of the company, the Chief Operating Officer of the company? Why am I different from a person who is just an MBA in the organization? An MBA would know almost everything about the organization, but he may not know about Section 135, or he may not know about how to hold a board meeting of the company or the annual general meeting of the company. But they know कि annual general meetings होती हैं, shareholders meeting होती है, board of directors की meeting होती है. कभी-कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि the managing director of the company would want to give them a flavor of how the board meetings and the board of directors are conducting themselves in the organization. तो वो उनको बुला लेते हैं, board meetings का access दे देते हैं कि आप आ जाओ, आके देखो. The only thing that I saw in them was they're very good presenters. They're very good presenters with the MISs, with the way they present themselves in the board or in the various operational meetings that the company would want to have over a period of years. And why does that happen? Because मैंने ये चीज देखी है, and I'm specifically focusing on a company secretary who would want to start his life in a corporate world, in a corporate culture. So होता क्या है ना कि ये जो लोग होते हैं ना, they are given the sense of how the company works. They are given the sense of what are the different departments in an organization, what different departments do, how is that particular department relevant to the other department, how does the entire chronology works, how the entire sequencing works. और इस वजह से क्योंकि उनको सब कुछ पता चल जाता है, and then they start working on it, then they start reading out of all of this, they start creating MISs reporting for themselves so that they can actually present something in front of the managing directors and the board. Now, why are we hesitant in doing that? Why are we hesitant as a company secretary in doing that? I can also create MISs. I can also know a lot about my business. So यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा practical experience बताते हैं. So when I was doing my IPO for my second company in which I was working for a period of 14 years by the name of Ethos Limited, which is India's largest retail chain of luxury Swiss watches. So जब हम लोग IPO कर रहे थे ना, so the entire process was like the entire DRHP document, the IPO document was prepared by the secretarial team and the CFO. So CFO used to tell me, Anil, यार हम लोगों को ये चीज गैदर करनी है, इंडस्ट्री के बारे में गैदर करनी है, हम लोगों को ये बिजनेस के बारे में गैदर करना है. We have to create a document which is very, very seamless for the investors fraternity to understand and realize the fact that हम लोगों को मतलब there is no way out but to invest in that particular company. So while I was preparing that, it had been like 8 years with the organization. तो कुछ चीजों का तो मुझे बिल्कुल ही एक you know when you're a child you learn new things. It happened to me that I wasn't knowing about all of this, but now in this IPO process I have started knowing about this, and it was so seamless to know about so many things in an organization. And then when I got to know a lot about it, when our company got listed, I told my CFO, I told my managing director that I want to get into sensitization programs. I want to get into internal controls. I want to get into internal audit by myself. And that's the way around wherein we can actually, build our capabilities and capacities along with it. That's the way with which we create our own branding in an organization within. And that's the way you have to carry yourself. So that was the third part. And lastly, and last but not least, which is basically learning. जैसे मैं आपको बोल रहा था ना, एक नदी होती है, नदी का पानी अगर चलता रहे तो it is very good. But अगर पानी अगर stop कर दिया जाए, तो then it becomes stagnant there. और फिर वहां से गंदी smell भी आ जाती है. तो river has to flow uninterruptedly. The here is the thought. So when I say learning is perennial and it is akin to our knowledge, it's very, very important. हमें हमेशा learn करते रहना चाहिए new things. At the times when I started my career, I learned 1956 Act. There was a time when I had to get into 2013 Act. There was a time when I learned about listing agreements. फिर ICDR regulations आए, takeover code आया, PIT regulations आए. There are so much to do. There is so much to do that, if you feel like that you've learned everything and you stop yourself, then there is no looking back. You stay there only. Then you are not in a position to actually ask for a higher rise in your salaries too. So that was the fourth aspect. Having said that, if at all you excel in all these four qualities that you have, which comes over a period of time, which comes with experience, but you don't stop yourself, you can command whatever salary you feel like. And if they are not in a position to pay you well, there are dearth of opportunities in the corporate world. Mark me when I say this. When I shifted here in Gurgaon, there is so much to do. I mean, people are looking out desperately for company secretaries who excel in all these opportunities. I mean, one who is above secretarial, one who is above legal compliances, one who is above normal course routine activities in an organization, and who can actually give away something in an organization. Out of the vast experience that he has, he can command whatever salary he feel like commanding for. And that was what I wanted to say. Over to you, Vansh.
जी सर हमारे बीच में राहुल जोगी सर भी मौजूद है. मैं आपसे सर आप सर शुरुआत कीजिए सेशन की, और फिर इसके बाद सर जो हमारा सेगमेंट है मन की बात, जिसके लिए सारे बच्चे रुके हुए हैं, इन्होंने आज बड़े नोटी क्वेश्चंस भी पूछे हैं, वो सारे लेंगे. जी सर. राहुल सर. हाँ जी सर.
Thank you once, and I feel it's my privilege to having a session with Anil. And I always try to follow the way he communicate, the way he speak, because we were together in the managing committee of Chandigarh ICSI together. And I would like to acknowledge the he's Mr. He's like a brother, Shubham Gupta. He is managing committee member, a brilliant lawyer, innovative. I always say that thoughts you have are always innovative, and you want to add something to the profession for the fraternity. That's a good thing. Shubham, can we hear something from you?
Thank you so much, Rahul ji. Thank you so much for the kind words. I was listening to Anil ji, and I remember my time. Anil ji is senior to me, Rahul ji is senior to me. So when I was a student, Anil ji used to be a faculty member at that time. So what I learned from him is to be humble, to be accurate, and to be meticulous. ये तीन चीजें जो हैं, I learned from him. I was very young at that time, and he has always left a lasting impression upon me. How to become a good professional. Having a qualification and becoming a professional are miles apart, and to bridge that gap is what you need. Whatever sir has told you is what you need. So it's been a great learning experience for me, and to all those present here. It's very important for you to just look outside the closed window. Don't just think that there are 2, 3, 4, 5 limited options for you. All you can do is build yourself, look beyond, develop yourself. As I always say, reading, writing, and learning. These three things are very important. Normally, we skip something out of these three, but you should look into these three skills, basic life skills, and you'll never look back. So that's it. I think it's been a great session. And Rahul ji is again is my brother. I've always learned leadership qualities, how to be selfless, how to look beyond what is your scope. And so it's great learning from people like them. And it's always a good experience to, really learn from others' experience. So all the best to everyone. Thank you, Rahul ji. Thank you, Anil ji. Thank you, Vansh ji. And all the best.
Most welcome, Shubham, and we'll have next session with you.
Definitely, I would love to. I would love to. Although I am under extreme pressure, I'll not be able to match your and Anil ji's qualities, but I'll try.
Sure, brother.
Thank you so much.
So I was thank you, Shubham. So, like the Anil has already mentioned so many things about the corporate life at the practice side, and giving the brief about his beginning, about the career, the initial thoughts. I'll just give up like a 2-minute quick background because I'm in the transit to like traveling somewhere. So when I started, it was a thought that okay, we are doing something related to corporate CA. Okay, everybody's saying that you have to study at least 18 hours if you want to be a good chartered accountant or you want to qualify, and the passing percentage was about 1%, 2%, and we were like, okay, kaise hoga? Then the cost accountant was the another profession. We thought, okay, this is also something related to corporate, and you can make something, you can build yourself. But somewhere we find that okay, CS being a, I would say, the legal background, you are running the entire show of the company, you are advisor to the board, and you can enter in that room where the decision of 5,000 crore, 5 lakh crore or 25 lakh crore are taken. You are part of those decisions, you are part of that deliberation, because your intellect, your thought process will be known by the company, the discussion, or the people around you. So that's a wonderful thing. Anil also mentioned about that. So when once started this session, we were like, okay, we will share some kind of thoughts and we'll have a ground feedback from the student, from the members, that what problem they are facing. If through our experience, through our exposure, whatever journey we had, like I was like a Hindi medium student, like till become first year, I used to write my exam in Hindi. And it was a difficult transition, and Anil knows that I always say that the command you have over the language, over the communications is absolutely appreciable, and everybody says that he's a complete package for the corporate. So we just try to build ourselves day by day. We start like doing reading and just understanding. So the communication, as Anil mentioned, language is your medium. Don't get confused with okay, language, you have to have that command over the language, but you must have the idea, the message you want to pass on. That should be clear. The person interacting, he should get the idea that okay, this is your thought and you want to convey this. That's it. That's a like लैंग्वेज हम कर सकते हैं, जैसे सर ने कहा कि हम किसी भी उसमें कम्युनिकेट करें, पंजाबी में करें, हिंदी में करें, that message should pass on. That's the criteria. That's the minimum criteria. So once we started, we got into the training. We had the opportunity to work with the CGD company in Pune. So then we started into the corporate restructuring, doing the some kind of advising to McKinsey itself. The biggest consultancy in the world is the McKinsey itself, and we were doing some kind of assignment for McKinsey itself, not for their client. So it was a good journey we started. Now, after serving, Anil was, I would say, my committee colleague that time. We started serving to ICSI when we got elected. The young thoughts like, okay, we will do. We were thinking that, okay, सब कर देंगे हम. मतलब ICSI is something we want to serve और हो जाएगा. And कभी भी, and that was a initial thing that okay, हम कोई भी session लेंगे, we won't charge a single penny, we won't take any money from ICSI, wherever it is required. If we have to contribute from our own pocket, we were ready to do that, like without any financial or any motive. We were there to serve the ICSI, and our tenure, I would say, was very successful. Everybody appreciated. All the seniors were saying that okay, this was something missing, and it's a good start when young members are participating. Because I felt one problem in the ICSI: we don't interact, we don't discuss with each other. That's the one thing we must discuss. We must deliberate on the problem. बोलते हैं यार लॉयर्स के पास बड़ी यूनिटी है, अगर एक लॉयर्स को प्रॉब्लम आती है तो वो अगले दिन चक्का जाम कर देते हैं. बट व्हाई दिस इज मिस फॉर द कंपनी सेक्रेटरीज? यार कहीं ना कहीं हम सोच रहे हैं यार मैं तो ना अपना कर लूं, बाकी तुम देख लो यार. नहीं होगा ऐसा. अच्छा सेकंड हम करते हैं, ठीक है मेरा तो हो गया, मैं दूसरे वाले को नीचे कर दूं. अब मैं आगे तो निकलना है मुझे, मैं पीछे जो मेरे साथ वाला ना उसके पीछे कर दूं. तो ऐसे क्या होगा ना, एक दिन सबके सब नीचे हो जाएंगे. सो वी मस्ट मेक सम एफर्ट्स टू अपलिफ्ट whosoever is beside us as a professional in whatever manner. If we can help, यार कहीं पर भी किसी भी तरीके से हम क्वेरी भी रिजोल्व करते हैं, that should be there. अगर ये हो जाता है तो मेरे को लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं एक जो सेंस ऑफ बिलोंगिंगनेस है कि हमें ब्रांड आईसीएसआई को हम रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं, दैट ओके ओके, इफ यू आर अ कंपनी सेक्रेटरी दैट्स गुड थिंग, आ जाएगा, हम करेंगे. I'll tell you one example, and many of you must not be aware. We met. He was a commissioner of Delhi Police, Bhimsen Basi, BS Basi. That time he was member of UPSC for 5 years term was there, and he is company secretary. And fortunately, I got to know, and I could connect with him. And then with some representative of ICSI, we went to meet him. It was such a pleasure that one IPS officer who was commissioner of Delhi Police, and he was sharing his idea, and he is member of UPSC. कि यार IAS से तो डिफिकल्ट कुछ नहीं है, CS भी नहीं है, ऐसा बोलते हैं. He was sharing his idea कि यार how we can make ourselves better, and the kind of curriculum we have, like regularly update होता रहता, सब कुछ change होता है. The kind of curriculum we have, the kind of understanding we have, as a we are not the, I would say, a jack of all ham. मतलब we can be, I would say, 80% lawyer, we can be 40% chartered accountant, we can be 25% post accountant, we can be 60% I would say the MBA guy if we have to represent. So we can be about 30% as a banker for loan syndication. We can be the good communicator if we have to represent our company. तो यार इतने सारे रोल है, मतलब हम विष्णु अवतार टाइप लगते हैं कि यार सब कुछ हम कर सकते हैं. मतलब फॉर द कॉर्पोरेट कि यार ये भी हो जाएगा, ये भी हो जाएगा. अच्छा, कंपनी सेक्रेटरी वो तो कर ही देगा. अच्छा, बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर, देयर वाज अ वन क्राइसिस आई वांट टू शेयर. One of our client company, their account got NPA for like about 290 crore. They could not meet the commitments. तो मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर बेचारा वो परेशान था, दुखी था, और मैं एज अ यंग कंपनी सेक्रेटरी, तो मैं उनके साथ था. मैंने कहा सर टेंशन क्यों ले रहे हो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. मैंने उनको पूरा एकदम गुरु मूवी की वो जो क्लिप है ना, वो स्टेडियम में पूरा एक एजीएम को एड्रेस कर रहे हैं, वो पूरा उनको मैंने क्लिप दिखाया. बैंकर्स का 290 करोड़ कह रहे हैं कि भैया आपने नहीं दिया हमें वापस. 290 करोड़ इज अ बिग अमाउंट फॉर एनी बैंक. मैंने उनको बड़ा एक वीडियो दिखा के मैं मोटिवेट करके, एक जॉइंट लेंडर फोरम होती है आरबीआई की इंस्ट्रक्शन पे बनती है वो, व्हेन अकाउंट गोट एनपीए. तो हम चले गए. बैंक वालों ने कहा कि आपने अच्छा नहीं किया मित्तल साहब, ये तो ठीक नहीं था, वगैरह वगैरह बहुत सारी बातें. तो मित्तल साहब, बिकॉज ऑफ, आई वुड से, बिकॉज ऑफ माई मोटिवेशन, वो खड़े हुए और कहा कि यार आप ना 150 करोड़ रुपए और दे दो मुझे, मैं बिजनेस करूंगा तुम्हारे वापस लौटा दो. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ क्राइसिस मैनेजमेंट यू हैव, लाइक I could not, like, as a mental support, I was there for my managing director के यार कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, हो गया. There was a crisis, it was a business loss, but there was no bad intention. तो आप उस लेवल तक जाते हो. और जब आपका किसी कंपनी में, जैसे अनिल ने, he was working with the KDDL group, the ethos, the prominent company. Your relationship with the management is like कि यार आप ना बच्चों के रिश्ते भी, आपका रोल is not limited to the compliance only. You are part of the family. You as a professional, you intervene, you advise, you are planning their succession कि यार विल में क्या डालना है, आप ये भी प्लान करते हो. अगर आप आज किसी फैमिली ऑफिस के साथ एसोसिएटेड एंड यू आर एडवाइजिंग ऑन देम कि यार हाँ कैसे आपने प्लानिंग करनी है. आज एक बिगेस्ट क्राइसिस, एक अपॉर्चुनिटी भी आई वुड से फॉर द प्रोफेशनल, कि जो भी बिजनेसमैन थे उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा पैसा बनाया, बहुत अच्छा बिजनेस खड़ा किया, लेकिन दे आर नॉट एबल टू ट्रांसफर दैट बिजनेस टू द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन. अच्छा, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन भी एक वो कहीं ना कहीं कलाकार है, वो भी दे आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड कि यार हमें अपने फैमिली बिजनेस में कोई इंटरेस्ट है. दे वांट टू डू देयर ओन स्टार्टअप, दे वांट टू क्रिएट समथिंग, यार हमें खुद का करना है. तो एज अ प्रोफेशनल आपको वो ब्रीज आउट करना, द गैप, द टू जनरेशन गैप, जो फादर ने या ग्रैंडफादर ने जो बिजनेस बिल्ड किया, यू हैव टू सेल थ्रू दैट जर्नी के यार मैं हूं वहां पे, हम कर लेंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. आपका बड़ा यार एक जनरेशन आपको वो भी मैनेज करनी है. तो एज अ प्रोफेशनल योर रोल इज डायनेमिक, इवॉल्विंग, एंड आप इनोवेटिव हुए बगैर नहीं रह सकते, आपको चेंज करना ही पड़ेगा अपने आप को. एंड आई वुड से कि यार वंस आप वो कर रहे हो, कहीं ना कहीं उस ट्रांजिशन को विद द टेक्नोलॉजी, विद द this kind of platform and initiative, you are doing wonderful job. और करना चाहिए यार.
सर क्या ना वो एक हमारे यहाँ पे सर दादाजी हुआ करते थे, पहले गली में बैठते थे, कहते भाई बातें तो कह रहे भाई दो चार है, अंदाजे बयां जो है वो नया होना चाहिए। तो
क्या बात है। बहुत ही
तो
बढ़िया।
ये सर, जी 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 सर।
तो
तो
मेरे
सर
ख्याल से कुछ हमारे हमारे साथ एक लास्ट में पॉइंट लूंगा। एक हमारे साथ
जी सर,
शायद स्टूडेंट भी। तो आई रिमेम्बर माय फादर इज यूज्ड टू हैव फार्मर दैट टाइम।
जी
तो
सर,
मैं सीएस एग्जीक्यूटिव का एग्जाम दे के आया। ये लाइफ ये जो था कभी नहीं भूलता। तो एग्जाम दे के आया, उस टाइम पे ना 6 पेपर होते थे, 2 ग्रुप होते थे 3-3 के। और मैं पेपर दे के आ गया। तो उन्होंने पूछा पेपर कैसा हुआ, नेचुरली यही सवाल करेंगे वो। तो मैंने कहा पहले ग्रुप में एक पेपर अच्छा नहीं हुआ और सेकंड ग्रुप में भी एक पेपर अच्छा नहीं हुआ। कह रहे इसका मतलब क्या हुआ। मैंने कहा एक में फेल हो जाओगे ना, सब में फेल हो जाओगे, क्योंकि एग्रीगेट का ना आपको चाहिए ना 40-50 वाला गेम।
जी सर।
तो उन्होंने कुछ सेकंड का पोज लिया और कहा कि यार, कह रहा हम खेत से ना 1 साल में 4 फसलें ले लेते, तुम्हारे से 6 पेपर नहीं पास हो रहे। तो दैट काइंड ऑफ लाइक
क्या बात है,
आई वाज
जी जी जी।
स्पीचलेस। आई वाज स्पीचलेस। तो कुछ चीजें ना वो एक्सपीरियंस से आती हैं और कहीं ना कहीं वो आपको देना पड़ता है। ठीक है, वी वर फॉर्चुनेट टू गेट दैट काइंड ऑफ सपोर्ट फ्रॉम आवर टीचर्स, फ्रॉम आवर सीनियर्स, कि हमने सीएस कर लिया। इट वाज अ डिफिकल्ट, नाउ आई फील कि थोड़ा सा आसान हो गया है।
जी सर।
बट जब हमारा पासिंग परसेंटेज यूज टू 6% और 7%, तो लगता था कि नहीं यार कुछ है, तो डिफिकल्टी है, कुछ हमने गलती चूज कर लिया है।
नहीं नहीं सर, वो क्या कहते हैं, आग में तप के ही तो जो लोहा है वो सोना बनता है। तो बिल्कुल सर। तो मैं आपकी परमिशन चाहूंगा सर, क्या हम आज के जो सेशन से वो स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं, जो क्वेश्चंस
प्लीज
बच्चों ने
प्लीज
पूछे,
गो अहेड
जितने भी
विद योर
हमारे
क्वेश्चन
मेंबर्स हैं। जी सर।
एंड एक line was so important. I was listening very carefully. He was sharing his thoughts, his experience. Wonderful. I have seen him evolving, growing, and like throughout.
जी सर।
Thanks, Anil. And I feel it's my privilege to having you at this session with me.
It's absolutely mutual, Rahul. Matlab, you know how dear you are to me. I mean, you can be in any part of the world. I will be there to support. I will be there with you all throughout your life. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है राहुल कि मैं ये शुरू में वंश से भी बोल रहा था, मतलब हम ना बहुत सारे लोगों से बहुत कुछ सीखते हैं। आपसे मैंने बहुत कुछ सीखा है, आपसे भी मैंने बहुत कुछ सीखा है। आपकी हर एक बात, मतलब इट इज लाइक एन एनग्रेविंग ऑन माय हार्ट, and the way you have been carrying throughout in your life is absolutely lovely, in your personal and your professional lives. The way you have been mentoring people around, the way you have been mentoring us as well, is absolutely remarkable and marvelous. I You have my support all throughout your life, and that's the word of a man you have been with for such a long time.